We are coming into our third winter here, living in this fifth wheel in Canada. We live in British Columbia, the southeastern part in Canada, and this is our home. We have added so many personal touches to this space, and it really feels like ours. Before giving you a tour of our home and discussing some of the pros and cons that we feel go hand in hand with living in a fifth wheel in Canada, I'll take you along to share how this trailer came to be our home, because what you see here used to be nothing but neglected land. On this property of 3¼ acres, there was a little house on it, and we fell in love with this house, but the real intention was to have some land to grow our own food, have some privacy, and endless reasons to keep our hands and our minds busy. But to propel projects and develop the land according to our desires, we needed to find a way to maximize our income in the current economy. And so we came up with the idea to live in a trailer and rent this house out for the foreseeable future. The elevation of this property is what makes the land so beautiful, but it has also been the reason for many of our greatest obstacles. In order to live in the trailer, we had to get the trailer up the hill, and that was our greatest challenge. The day we took possession in early September, I organized for a 30-yard roll-off bin to be delivered to the property, and that same weekend we filled that bin with ease, and we made many subsequent trips to the dump with Joel's truck. We felt we were constantly in a race against something. First, we were in a race to have a place to put the trailer. After acquiring the property, we had scheduled the excavator to arrive just a couple weeks later. We had to clear out the trash that the property had acquired the decades before it was in our possession, and we had to do it pretty quick. I can't do that. Ultimately, the real race we had set up for ourselves was to beat the snow. Once the excavator was underway, we knew that it was only another week until our trailer was going to arrive on site. So thankfully, we had a very skilled and amazing excavator who actually gave us some ideas for how to shape the land, and we're so grateful for it because he gave us the idea to actually add an additional pad. Here he is scooping out the possibility of a septic field which Joel had plumbed in, and therefore making our trailer function more like a house, and we don't need any pumping. When the excavation was completed, we were so thrilled, and it felt like we were just stepping on a completely blank canvas in which to craft in any way we wanted. However, we knew that our greatest challenge lay ahead. Having a 33-foot trailer get delivered on our steep property that was just newly excavated was not going to be easy, and the tow truck driver told us that he'd send us their best man, and in the end it took him and their second best man. Right away, Joel worked tirelessly to plumb us into our gravity-fed water system. We have license to a little creek. Meanwhile, I worked around the clock and around the hours after my day job, trying to make this space feel a little bit more like home, a little more personal. Building this little addition was no easy feat, but we felt it necessary to have some separation between our main living areas and the freshly excavated dirt during the coming months. We finally got the walls and the roof up what seemed like a day before the first snowfall. I spent the first few weeks in this trailer all by myself while Joel went to finish plumbing school, and I spent it by myself without any propane or any wood heating, but now we have both of those and I am so grateful for that. And just as we got comfortable, we decided to get married on this property. And so here we are, starting to beautify the land, starting to beautify the trailer, everything that we can. And by the way, the snow did melt and kind of come and go throughout the winter, so we got really lucky this year managing to make all of the little changes and fixes that we wanted to in really mild weather. We did go on a little canoe trip for our honeymoon, but suddenly fall was fast approaching again, and so we put our souls into building this pole barn to protect our trailer, and it was so arduous, but we're so happy that it's now done and that we have it. And now we'd love to invite you inside. Okay, welcome to our foyer, also known as the boot room, we call it. So this boot room is a lot of things for us. So we've got our washer and our dryer, and one way that we try to maximize space in this space is we have all of our laundry materials in this small basket. So we do use just dryer sheets and washing sheets, and that's something that helps us to keep down on space use. So we keep those above the washer and the dryer. We do have a small wood stove. Now we currently have what's called the Cubic Mini, and although it's pretty functional, we do have plans to upgrade this system. We've got all of our shoes, at least for the season, and some of our coats. Now we do have another cargo trailer that we call the garage, and that's where we keep extra outerwear, outer gear, and things like this. And then we also have another fridge. Should I open it? Ooh. So this fridge is a life-saving grace. We also have another it has a freezer on top, and this has been really wonderful for us. We use the fridge that the trailer came with. That's more of like our condiment and drink fridge, and this fridge has a much larger capacity, so we use it for everything else. Okay, let's keep going.
So this is the kind of everything space. It's the main living space, the kind of the main body of the fifth wheel trailer. We do everything from kitchen and cooking, dining and eating, kind of our chill spot, and over here is our dedicated office space, although really wherever we can plop a laptop is where work gets done typically. The big criteria for us, I think, when we were kind of fleshing out whether or not we wanted to go this direction with our lives, make this decision, and how to utilize the property. The fifth wheel layout was really important for us, namely with two criteria. One, we wanted bump outs, but not the bunks, you know, and that's tough to find. A lot of these fifth wheels are constructed with the idea of family travel, family camping, which ironically is, you know, where we've gone this last year in sort of a family direction. But when our primary kind of criteria for this was that the bunks aesthetically didn't work for us and they weren't going to be put to good use. We really wanted to maximize usable daily living space. And so to find a fifth wheel with the bump outs but not the bunks was a pretty major win for us. And then coming over here to the kitchen as well, very important for us to have a fully functional kitchen. We do a sum to a bulk of our canning in this space. And we meal prep here on the daily. At least we're in the kitchen cooking for almost every meal. So having the space to work was a major factor.
Sorry, I have to say one thing. You have to look at the camera at least one time.
Okay, having the space to work was a major factor, and it's still a little bit tight. You know, we'll go butt to butt. It's hard for two of us to work in there, but by and large, we can live and function in this kitchen almost as though we were in a house of sorts.
Okay, and aside from having the island, which is not very common in most fifth wheels, which I love, my two favorite aspects of the kitchen is this pot rack that we built. This is so helpful, so convenient. I simply love this pot rack. But the other thing that I really love, and I'll show you here, is, I don't have to move at all. Everything's a pivot away. This spice rack is amazing. I love it so much that I think in our future home I would love to design something like this because it's so handy. Joel and I obviously really love to cook, and so it just keeps it really nice to access our spices. I love it. And this here is the library, the office, the bedroom, and of course the movie theater as well. We agree that the top 3 cons of living in a trailer would be mitigating moisture, especially in the winter, having to combat rodents every season change, and dealing with freezing pipes as well in the winter, or rather the potential of them. And the top 3 pros would be the cost savings that we personally have experienced, the simple minimalist living that it encourages, and of course, our favorite reason of all, it inspires more time outside. Thank you so much for watching. We will have more videos to come. We're still finding our groove, but we would really appreciate the support, so feel free to like and subscribe and see what's in store next.